designer things. I love the flashy thing. Louboutins, Valentinos. A fan favorite over the last few years has been the Ro Piana Acris. I called Roger Vivier. Similar sparkly thing, but hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Now I know it's been a super long time since I've uploaded a classic video like this. I've been doing a lot more shorts, but I want to get back to my roots a little bit, and I've wanted to do this video for a really long time, so I'm finally excited to do it. As you can tell by the title, this video is about some quiet luxury pieces or brands that you might not know of that I love and that are my go-to things to buy. Nothing wrong with like labels, huge things, anything like that. I love that stuff too. But sometimes, and I know that the last few months, last years, everyone's been into like quiet luxury brands that offer really cool, simple, classic styles without a bunch of brand names and stuff like that. Still super expensive. It's not like it's any cheaper, but a little more low key. If you know, you know, sort of thing. So keep watching. Just to take a step back, I love designer things. I love the flashy things. I'll never say no to a classic Chanel bag, the Louis Vuitton print, Louboutins, Valentinos. And I know a fan favorite over the last few years has been the Ro, which is also sort of like the flagship quiet luxury brand. And I love the Ro. If you ever touch their leather products, I don't know what is in their leather, but like their leather handbags, like anything leather from the Ro is so buttery, so smooth. Like if you can even just go into a high-end department store and just touch the Ro's stuff, you'll be like, wow, like what are they making this out of? What are Mary-Kate and Ashley finding these like textures and fabrics? Because all of their stuff is so soft, so comfy. This boot is nothing different from their norm. So not knocking any of this stuff. Like I said, I love it. This being the mothership of quiet luxury brands, love it. But I just thought, let me go into the archives and see what's a little bit more less well known, still on that quiet luxury vibe, but yeah, just like not as a more better kept secret. So keep watching. So starting off with a brand called Loro Piana. I think it's Italian, yeah. They also, when you think of really nice fabrics and materials, Loro Piana is like next level. This is their scarf. It's always like, they're known a lot for their wool, like however way, like whatever animals or the way that they do their wool is like, I don't think anyone can really beat them with that. So this is just their classic wool scarf in this mustard yellow color. I think it complements my skin tone really well, so I love it. It's also super warm and so soft, like so soft. It's not cheap. It's up there, but do you see how there's like nothing on it? The only indication, apart from like if you're someone who just knows fabrics and textures, but even then, like a lot of other companies do a good job like making wool products too, and not as expensive as like there's this little tag at the corner that says Loro Piana, and then like obviously the tag itself. But other than that, it's super discreet, like been around for a really long time, and they like make really nice wool sweaters and like turtlenecks and stuff like that. That's just made of the most incredible fabric. Obviously, because it's wool, like you need to be a little bit careful with how you wash it and stuff, but it's definitely a beautiful product, and they make really nice stuff too. So this is the first quiet luxury product. Now we're gonna change it up and go to like actual garments. So this is called Acris. I hope I'm spelling it or pronouncing it right. Akris. This is also like a very low-key sort of brand, but don't let it fool you. The price is also not low-key or cheap. But they're known for making a lot of just like classic sort of shapes, silhouettes, a little bit of a funkiness vibe with this, like this being a dress, but that's what they're known for, and their pieces are just very flattering, very well done. And this is like very cute summer dress, but this is another brand. Now, in terms of, is it modern and girl, like, and you go out and you feel like a hot, cool girl? Maybe not. Like, I would say maybe 70% of their stuff is not like that. Like, it's probably more, I'm going for brunch at like a golf course, or not even that, because I don't want to like generalize, but it's definitely for a specific vibe and mood. So it wouldn't be like, depending on what your everyday is, like, would it be the first thing I would pull out of my closet because I'm so excited by it? No, it would be more like classics like the row, but a little bit more of an older, mature style. But that being said, you could always find something that you can make work for you and incorporate it in a different way. So that would be like my only key of like for 20 somethings, if you're looking for something cool to go out, you maybe won't find that. Maybe you'll find like a cool blazer or like a cute piece that you can then turn into something else. But if you want more just like classic, mature, more styles, but something that will be ageless and timeless, this is definitely your go-to brand. Next thing I want to talk about, and I love going to shoes because I love shoes, is a brand called Roger Vivier. Now, don't get this mistaken with the Manolos that has like a similar sparkly thing, but this is Roger Vivier. They're also known for like the sparkly piece at the top of their shoe. Their flat is kind of like their iconic silhouette. You can see just by how it's like crafted. It's like, imagine, like this is so elegant just looking at it like this. Like imagine it on your foot. But they're also like not as well known, not as like out there. But this is like the softest, I want to say it's silk, like if not silk, satin, but I feel like it would be silk, like the softest silk with like the most flattering shape, and the little sparkle at the top. Like this is not all, like not all of their shoes have a sparkle, but I would say like that's their most iconic shoe. And then they have a bunch of like flats, mules, like little heels, wedges that have this on it too. But yeah, so it's just their own way of designing, and fabric, everything else is so nice. Obviously it's also not cheap, but this is like a more quiet luxury brand, apart from like the other ones out there. And I just think it's a really, really cool shoe. While we're still on the shoes topic, this is Brunello Cucinelli. This is very similar to the Loro Piana vibe of very good fabrics and materials and things used, but making like classic-ish styles. They're both Italian, so I'm not surprised. But this is what this shoe looks like. It's very similar, not similar, simple summer spring sort of shoe. Simple silhouette, but made with really good material and fabric. Will last you forever. I also like to store all my shoes, just to make sure that they last forever, especially when you spend so much on them. So if you're into Loro Piana stuff, you would probably also be into Brunello stuff because it's very similar Italian sort of style, manufacturing, fabric, and look. But I would say like Loro maybe has more of an emphasis on like wool and stuff, and Brunello's just also similar, but like maybe not as, in my mind at least, like I don't really associate wool as much with this company as I would with the Loro company. All of that to say that this is another quite luxury brand. You wouldn't know by looking at it what it was. And they're just known for a lot of good staples and good quality clothing. Don't let that mistake you. The price is also very expensive, but you sort of get what you pay for. Going back on like the clothing, garments sort of path, this is Isa McKay. Isa McKay, I think now they're getting a little bit more popular with like their bags that have, I'll probably just insert a picture here because I want to be able to explain it correctly. If you know, you know, but this is what it looks like. They're getting really well known for that bag. But I would say a few years ago, they weren't as commonly known, but they make really, really cool designs and like out of the box thinking and interesting silhouettes and materials and fabrics used. This jacket is no different. So everyone in my family calls this like the Darth Vader jacket because it's a raincoat. It goes literally to the ground, so I love it, especially because I want some, like, I hate being wet when it's raining. So the fact that this covers me from head to toe. When I went to Seattle a few months ago for a wedding, I brought this coat and everyone at first was making fun of me, like, why are you gonna bring that? And how are you gonna wear it on the plane? This and that. Literally rained every single day we were there. For like 4 or 5 days we were there. Rained on the wedding day. I was wearing this. No one was saying anything. Everyone else was cold with the wind, with the rain. I was perfectly fine, warm, didn't get a drop on me. Like everything was, my dress, like everything was perfect. All of this to say that, so really cool pieces, also really functional pieces like this coat. So yeah, it's like, I mean, some people would say, oh, it's just a simple raincoat, like my soccer coach had it when I was a kid. But if you actually see it on, like, it's very flattering. It goes in a little bit at the waist and then drapes all the way down. And that's like what ISMK is known for. Like, it's similar to like Comme des Garçons, if you like Comme des Garçons stuff, especially because they do a lot of cool collabs with different brands and designers, especially a lot of Japanese designers. Then you would, I think you would also like this because, like I said, like similar sort of ideas on like creativity and like functional but unique pieces. So I'd say Comme des Garçons is the more well-known brand, and I would say the quiet luxury different sort of brand to that would be this. Also not cheap. I would say on par with maybe Comme des Garçons, maybe a little bit more depending on what the piece is. But yeah, like all of that to say that this jacket is great. Like, I will never part with this coat in my life. And if you're interested in any more of their cool pieces and like functional statement-y, but also like they're really good at, similar to Comme des Garçons, taking something that's a classic and putting a spin or a twist in an interesting way. This is your brand. Okay, continuing on with the garment stuff. This is Marni. If you like Versace, if you like Missoni, it's kind of like the love child of those two. Like, Versace can sometimes be very loud, very like takes risks, and then you have Missoni that always has their classical prints, and you can tell from afar, like, okay, that's Missoni. Marni, I would say, kind of incorporates those two things, because once you get to know Marni, you can tell like that's a Marni sort of design, because they're not quiet with their designs. Their designs are quite loud, but in a Marni way. Like, they love browns, they love creams, they love to like put prints or something on their stuff, and it's once you get to know it a bit, you're like, okay, that's Marni. To give you the real tea, Zara oftentimes copies Marni designs. Like, if you see this and you say, well, I feel like Zara would make something like that, it's because they see what Marni does and they oftentimes try to replicate and do a similar type of design. So if you see things in the Zara store that sort of look like this, when it has an interesting sort of look to it or a print to it or a design, like Marni loves this sort of a little bit of an oversized look but drapes really nicely on the body. That's a Marni silhouette, and that's what Zara will also copy. So if you ever want to buy a really nice piece, because Marni's not cheap, because you sort of like that type of style from Zara, then Marni's your way to go. If you want a mix between the Versace, Missoni sort of look, Marni's your way to go. So it's a more quiet brand. Like, they never will write Marni on their stuff. It's really just by look and by feel and texture, and their materials are always so nice. And then when you put it on, like, you can feel like, you think that a dress like this will just drape over you, but it won't. Like, the way that it will actually fit on your body and will just be so cool. So this is Marni. I feel like I can go on and on because I am just getting so many ideas of different other designers and brands that I want to talk about. I can do another video on that, pull some other pieces, and sort of spill why I think it's a quiet luxury brand. Like, let me know if you like this sort of content, if you're interested in it, because I love fashion. I could talk about this stuff forever. So But I hope that this was still like a good sort of introduction to what I deem to be more quiet luxury brands that aren't as well known, but still make really cool quality stuff. And if you're someone looking to like, you know, save up and splurge on something, but you don't want, you know, a Gucci bag that everyone else has, or like something that just screams a label all over it, one of these that I've mentioned will definitely be a good one to go with. Yeah, like other than that, like we love our loud out there brands, but then sometimes, you know, we just want something that's a little bit more demure, muted, understated, and that's where the other ones come into play too. So no harm, only love to all of this stuff, and it's all just fun. It's fashion. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in my next one, and let me know what you think. Bye.